What is up? Welcome back to the Lightspeed Social Agency YouTube channel. I'm your host, as always, Cody Owen, here from the Lightspeed Studios, and I want to talk to you today about reclaiming time in your business from time vampires. So if you've known me from some other places that I've worked in the past, you might remember a person that was in my videos a lot back then and on the podcast a lot, Patrick Hoffman. And Patrick always would read, a little more like business optimization type books. He's a really avid reader and writer. He's writing short stories now. Great guy. But he read this book, and in the course of reading the book, he became familiar with this phrase called time vampires. And I am a notorious time vampire. I'm a really social guy. When I'm having trouble working on a problem, my instinct is to, let my brain kind of percolate on that idea while I go and interrupt someone else who's trying to work, right? So I remember once I walked into a conference room where Patrick had shut the door, he's trying to work, and I needed to ask him a question, and it was not like a question that really needed to be asked right then, but it was top of mind for me. So I go in and I interrupt his deep work to ask him this question, and he just looks at me and he goes, "You are a time vampire." So a time vampire can be anything that wastes your time. So not just a person like me, although that is a lot of what it is. So it's a person who always has 20 questions to ask about some task that they should be able to figure out on their own. It can be a thing you do to yourself. It's another trip to the office fridge to grab a snack or a drink instead of continuing to work. It's a pile of low-value tasks that you use to procrastinate so that you don't have to work on what you should actually be working on to grow your business. The key way that you combat these time vampires, these time sucks that steal you away from the work you need to be doing to grow your business, is to remove yourself from them, right? So this is just like when you're trying to eat healthy and you gotta go through the snack cabinet and be like, oh, all of this has to go. Like if I have this in the house, I'm gonna eat it. For me, that is like ice cream sandwiches. I love all forms of frozen dairy treats. And so when I'm know that I need to be healthy, I know that I have to throw that stuff out, not buy it. And so that is the same thing you have to do with any form of time vampire. You have to get the junk food out of the house. So a book that I would recommend to you, a lot of you are familiar with Mike Michalowicz from The Pumpkin Plan or Profit First, which are both super helpful books about how to set up your business. And he has this book called Clockwork that is taking that Profit First model and applying it to time management. So what Mike suggests to get started on this, and this is absolutely what I would suggest, is that you create a small habit of spending 5 minutes before you walk into the office or the shop to take care of some high value tasks literally in your truck, right? Before you get out, no one's gonna come up and bother you in the truck, right? So you're sitting there, they might think you're finishing up a call or whatever, you've got your computer out. If something's important enough that you're whipping out your laptop in the truck, no one's gonna come oh man, I gotta interrupt him right now, right? So you start that with 5 minutes in your truck before you go into the office, before you get out and greet the guys in the morning. And it's probably a pretty distraction-free place, right? With the exception of your radio, there's not a lot in there that can distract you from those high-value things. So these should be things you procrastinate on, right? Put a barrier between the rest of your day and you, right? With these high-value things. So this could be invoicing. You know that you need to process invoices. People let this kind of thing slip, and then you end up in a cash flow bind because you put off invoicing by a few days. So, or sending estimates, right? You got to keep people coming in, and estimates are, annoying to have to write up and get out. But what you should do is set a timer for that 5 minutes and stick to it, and then expand it over time. Maybe after a month of 5-minute mornings or a couple weeks, you're okay, I feel like I'm getting in the groove here. I can get working a little bit faster. Get it to 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes in the morning. And before you know it, you will have built this talent, right, of working hard, getting in some deep work before all of the fires. Everyone's lighting a fire and you have to go put it out. Before you can even be aware that those things are happening, right? You can be getting things done that you know need to be done. And the reason that this is so important is that when you are kind of treading water on all of these low value tasks, they're keeping you in the same place, right? Your business can't grow if you are just constantly batting away these tiny little problems and never working on the high value things that will help grow your business. You're not dedicating yourself to learning about marketing. You're not dedicating yourself to getting your invoicing and estimates out the door and genuinely selling new clients on maybe even like upsell services, whatever it is, whatever things you know you need to do to make yourself a better business owner, you're not able to do them if you're treading water. You're never going to get to the other side of the pool where you want to be, where your goals are, if all you're doing is just doggy paddling to stay afloat. So check out Mike's whole book, Clockwork. There's a referral link down in the description to where you can buy it on Amazon or get it on Audible and listen to it in your ears. Look, you have to reclaim your time to get to the next level. If you're just treading water, you're never going to get to the other end of the pool. You're never going to be able to live the life that you want to live if you are staying stuck right where you are. So hopefully this helps you out. I know that I wrote this outline because I could feel myself kind of slipping back into letting busy work take over my life instead of the important things that I need to do to work on my business and myself as a business owner. So hopefully it is helpful to you to think about that as well. All right, I will talk to you next week.